Hello everybody, and I'm back with a new video for chess again. So last time I taught you some basic checkmating patterns which are obviously used in the endgame. Now I think I've explained before in one of my videos that the opening is the first few moves, the middle game is the middle moves, and the end game is a position where there are few pieces on the board, such as the one in front of you. So last time I explained some mating patterns which are obviously always used in the end games. So this time I'll be explaining some more endgames, not necessarily endgames, but not necessarily checkmate, but endgames definitely. So I've prepared a few positions for you, some elementary positions which you must know as a beginner. Endgames are the most important parts of chess. Openings don't get important until you become at least 1800 rating. Only important thing for the opening, you should know the basic principles which I've uploaded, and I'll link it in the description down below. So I'll also be explaining a few chess.com features and terms. You can sign into chess.com from the link in the description, as well as you can click the I button to check their YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to them. So let's get started. How are we supposed to play such endgames? So last time I taught you the concept of opposition. So opposition is what we are going to use here most of the times. So this position, it's white to play, and this position is a draw, as you can see by the evaluation bar. How is this a draw? So if it's white to play, so the only logical move for white is to protect this pawn, because if white wanders away, black will just come and capture it. Yeah. So let's say, first of all, if white just blunders with this, then black just wins. Like, not wins, but black captures the pawn and is safe due to the draw. Now white has no means, and this is a draw due to insufficient material. Yeah. Now let's look at another variation which looks more appropriate to play, natural to play for white. So he pushes his pawn, and now as black, your plan here should be to keep opposition with the pawn. So black does that. If black decides to play this, still a draw, and you get back the same position. Yeah. But here, to play this, or else you lose. Sorry, here the right move will be after king f5. The right move is king to e7. Anything else loses, because he has to stay in front of this pawn or in front of the king. So he was in front of the king, now he has to stay in front of the pawn. Anything else loses here. Yeah. And after this he goes here. Mind you, coming here is a big mistake, because if you can easily play this, and after this is like this, and you just queen on the next move, and then you know how to checkmate. I've already taught you in my checkmating video. I'll link it in the description. Yeah, so here if you play this also loses badly because of king f6, and after this you can play this. Now black has no choice, but he has to come here, and the same pattern as before, you get a queen. So now going back, after this, black has to maintain opposition with the pawn. What next? If black plays this, black plays king to e8, it is loss for him, because we can come up here, and with the same pattern as before, we can just checkmate him. So when black has opposition with the pawn, opposition means only one square. There's only one square gap, and it's his chance to play. He must gain opposition with the king this time. Now if check, then king goes to e7, and if you come to protect it, king e8, and he again maintains opposition with the king. And this is a stalemate position. If you don't remember what stalemate is, you can watch my rules video. I'll link it in the description again. So this was the first position. So let's see the basic principles. The basic principles here are: maintain opposition, one square opposition with the pawn. If not possible, maintain one square opposition with the king. These are the main principles which you have to follow here as black. And there is no way to win this as white. No way. So if you're playing this as white, too bad, you can't do anything about it. So let's go to the next position which I've prepared. Sorry about that. So now it's the same. It's a similar position if you notice, but there's a one square gap here. There's a one square gap, extra one square. So how should we handle this position? This position is winning for white. So as black, there is pretty much nothing you can do other than hope for white to blunder and get a draw. So what are the few moves which look obvious as white? One must be king f4, so that you can go ahead. But then black just gains opposition with the king, and this is back to the same old position which we saw. Yeah, the previous position. So king f4 is clearly wrong. So the correct move here is king e4. You gain opposition this time. White gains opposition with his king. So now the black king has few options. So obviously the best looking ones are these. King, just a sec. Yeah. King d6, king f6. So let's take king f6. If king f6, then the same pattern we saw a little while ago. King d5, king f5, and then here you just check, and then if he goes up, you go up, and then if he goes more up, you go more up, and if he tries to come down, you come down. If he goes up, you come ahead with the pawn. If he goes up there, here e6 would be a bad move because it's a draw. It's from the same old pattern. So you got to take opposition with the king again. If he goes here, you come here. And after this, it's a clear walk because all these squares are protected by the king, and the pawn can easily march ahead. Yeah. So this was how to handle these kind of endgames. So as white, your plan must be to gain opposition with your king, and make sure never to get this kind of opposition. You have to make sure never to get this position. This position is always a draw. In such a position, if it's your chance, you have to take opposition with your king. So this was your formula for white in this position. So let's look at the next endgame position. So this is the one. So this is black to play, and you're playing black. So now but the white pawn is going this way. Yeah, not this way because that would easily win for white. So how to draw such a game in such a pattern? Like there is literally no way you can make a mistake in this game unless like you play really bad, which I'm sure none of you do. So this position is white to play. So let's see what moves can white play. White can clearly not move the pawn ahead because the king is blocking it. White has to go. White has only two moves: king a5, king b3. So let's look at king b3 first. If king b3, you get this move in here, and it's the same old position which we saw. Check. You come here, go back here. Yeah, it's the same position. So that's why these positions are important. They keep on repeating in every endgame, you know. So this was the king b3 line. Let's look at king a5 line. If king a5, then king c6. Now if he repeats king a6, you can just repeat. Yeah, because in this position there is no way for black to win. You see, black has nothing other than the king. Black is just aiming to get a draw. So repetition is good. Now white to avoid repetition goes king b7. In this position you can just play this, and suppose white makes a random move, you just go and gobble up his pawn, and it's a draw due to insufficient material. Yeah. So you just keep on repeating king c5, king a5, and the important thing is you must never you must never let white get a hold. You can never play this. If you play this, you just simply lose. So your king must always have opposition with the white king. You play this, and suppose you can even play king c6. So what happens if you let the white king somehow escape? Same pattern, you take opposition, and this position is a stalemate. Yeah. Or one more line going back here is white to you play. If he plays king a5, you can even play king c4. So I showed you king c6. You can also play king c4. Same lines work as before. You gobble up the pawn, or he runs away, and then you just oh sorry, or he comes back, and then the same pattern follows. If he comes here, you just repeat. If he goes here, you just go up. You know the thing now. You're not there here. So now let's look at the same position, but this time it's black's chance to play. So as black, what should you play? Just gain opposition. White has no choice. Yeah. Wherever white goes, you go with him. It's a threefold repetition and it's a draw. So now this is a bit more important position. Now this position is complicated. So white is going this way and black pawns are going this way. So how should you win this as white? So do pause the video and try to find the winning move. And if you did, you are a really good player. It's really tough to find this like in your first go. For amateur players, obviously not for top level games. So this position, why have I kept the kings here? Because the kings are irrelevant. The kings won't be used. So it's white to play. How should white win? So if you found the move b6, b6 is the right move, yeah? So I'll just show you why the other moves don't work. Why c6 doesn't work? C6 does not work because here it's black's chance to play. Black king is closer. He can gobble up a pawn and easily win the game. Or black can even play this. Okay, black can't play this. Apparently it's a draw. And if black plays this, it's a blunder because you can just queen. You can just go ahead and queen next move. So c6 is not right because with best defense, black can save himself. Yeah, and it's actually worse for us. Here, if you push this, then it will just take. And he's just winning because he has two extra pawns. So going back, c6 and now let's look at a6. a6 also has a similar response. Here the black king is closer and black will win. You can see the evaluation. So the only right move seems to be b6. And b6 is right. So let's look at all of black's possible moves. Say black decides to get his king close and try to eat the pawns. King g6. This is a terrible blunder. You can capture anywhere seriously. You can capture here, b takes c7, or you can also capture on b takes a7. Sorry. You can even capture on b takes a7. Okay, sorry. After king g6, you can capture on b takes a7 as well. And you queen next move. So going back after b6, if black decides to play a6, sorry, my bad. If after b6 black decides to play, if something really is wrong. After b6, if black decides to play c6 to close the position, it's a blunder because you just capture this pawn, and on whatever next move black makes, you just queen and win. Yeah. Same goes for the move a6. If black plays a6, you just take the c7 pawn and you queen on the next move. So now the more complicated lines come here. So if black plays c takes b7. So here c takes b6. In this position, you might be tempted to play c6. c6 is a terrible blunder because black can just capture here, and after say you capture, he has two passed pawns and he just wins the game. So the right move here is actually a6. So how is this right? Say black plays ba6. Now capturing this is wrong because you lose. So you must push c6. And now black has no way to defend. He does have two passed pawns, but your pawn is faster and you get a queen earlier. That's why you win. After a6, if he decides to play bc5, you just take a b6. And now he can go ahead and push, but you get the queen and he loses. So same goes for the other side also. If he decides to play here a6, ab6, you take, and here you just push. Or if he takes here, then you just take and you push. So basically the idea is push your middle pawn. If he captures the pawn, then push the pawn which has pawns in adjacent file and the same file. Do not push this pawn because this pawn is the potential queen. Yeah. So these were the basic ideas. The idea of keeping the king here is just to notify that the kings do not have any they don't have any popular role in this important role in this endgame. So this is the one, and the next one which I'm going to show you, this is the last one for the day. Okay, so this is white to play and win. So how are you supposed to win this? So while solving this, like I taught you while doing the double bishop checkmate, I taught you the obtuse angle method. I hope you remember that. It's in my checkmate video, which will be linked in the description. So the pattern for that was an obtuse angle, if you remember. So the pattern for this is a house. Sorry, is a house. Yeah. So this forms a house-like structure, and you must maintain this structure. So it's white to play. Now, when the structure is there, you must not disturb it. If you disturb it, you lose. So when the structure is already there, you must get your king close by so that the king can help. Yeah. So now, if black decides to play king a3 to go after the a2 pawn, what must you play? So c4 would be a terrible blunder because you did not maintain the pattern. So the move is c3. The move is c3, and this converts into a right angle triangle. So you must also remember the right angle while doing this. So here if black decides to take, you just push your pawn to a3. There's no way black can stop it. Now if black decides not to take, he plays king a4, then you got your structure back, the house. You got it back, yeah? If you look at it from the side, you got your house structure back. Maintain it, get your king near. So if king b5, maintain the house structure again. King c4, this time trying to go after this pawn. You push the a4 pawn, and again the house structure, you get your king. Now same pattern goes on and on. However, in this position, if black decides to play king back to c4, if he repeats, you have to play king e5, and if king c5, you push your a5 pawn this time. So this is a bit complicated, but if black continues to maintain opposition with us, we can just push our a pawn to victory. And if king b5, c4 check wins. How? If he captures, then you play king d6, and then this pawn just marches up. And if he, in case he captures this pawn, you just push this pawn to victory. So this was the method. And if he just decides to play safe, you can just go ahead and play this. And here it gets a bit confusing, yeah. If you after here you get your king ahead, and here you can choose to push any pawn. Frankly, it's better to push the one near your king so that it's protected. And here you just win and checkmate, yeah. So this was the endgame which I wanted to show you. So the principle is maintain the house structure like this or like this. Sorry. So maintain the house structure, and when the house structure is maintained, get your king here. And as black, you have nothing to do in this position. It's a completely lost position. So last week I realized I forgot to show you some new chess.com features. So I'll be doing that today again. So if you want to learn more and more about chess, the chess.com has a very good tool. So let's see the tool. So you go to more, yeah, here. You can check out the rules here if you ever forget. You can also check out my video. So this is the chess terms feature. Okay, so let me just, okay. So I actually have some problem with my recording, but just look at this. What it is, different terms related to chess, yeah. So let's look at some terms. You have chess notation, chess match. You have different pages which are sorted alphabetically. a chess match, chess endgame, chess defense, chess clock, checkmate with king and queen, checkmate ties, checkmate with bishop and knight. All these I've taught you. You can check all this in my video, or you can also check it here. Chess.com is amazing. And the feature which I'm going to teach you today is how to play puzzles. So you go to the puzzle section, you go to puzzles. Ignore all this now. I'll tell you what these are later. Go to puzzles. So everybody has their own puzzle rating. My rating is 1315 in puzzles. I did reach a peak of 1701 at once, but yeah, that was that. So you can play rated if you want to play for rating, or you can also play learning. Rating, don't get excited. It's not actual rating. It's just online puzzle rating. I'll teach you what these are later. First, for today, let's just learn this. So let's do learning now. And on the side, this side, there are different themes on which you can play. All themes: four move checkmate, advanced checkmate, Alekin's gun, attacking castle king. So let's play for a particular theme. Let's say back rank. So what back rank is basically, back rank is when the black's king is smothered by its own pawns and you deliver checkmate like this. There is no move for black to play. Go to the next one. Here it's okay. It's not exactly a back rank checkmate, but it will, because black is smothered by its own pieces. That is the basic theme. This is the back rank checkmate here. So you can continuously do puzzles like this. They are really instructive. Please do try them out. And so that's it for today. Let's just do one last and final one. Yeah, these are really interesting. This is checkmate with a beautiful queen sacrifice. So that was it for today, and I'll see you next week again with more videos. Do check out my videos. I'll link in them in the description. Check out Agadmeter, check out Chessbase India, check out chess.com. I'll link everything in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.